Hello, principals and teachers. Welcome back from summer and welcome to the introductory year of the new Archdiocesan Preschool and Elementary Unified Curriculum Expectations for grades pre-K 3 through 8. On behalf of the Office of Catholic Education and Formation, thank you to everyone involved with the success of this exciting project. A special thanks to our committee members for their hard work and dedication this summer to make it possible. Let's first answer the question, why go through the process of establishing a unified archdiocesan curriculum? It will support our joint efforts of continuing to strengthen evangelization of the communities in our archdiocese. It will allow for more sharing and collaboration among our Catholic school educators. It will help ensure that the students entrusted to us receive the highest quality education and faith formation possible. It will support our Catholic high schools by having our students enter their freshman year more on the same page. And it will be a greater support to principals and teachers in measuring and assessing student abilities with alignment to state and national standards. Before we begin, let's define curriculum-related vocabulary used in this video and throughout our process so we're on the same page. The word expectations is synonymous to other words like standards, objectives, goals, skills, and so on. Grade level expectations, which will be our focus in this video, include specific skills and knowledge that we strive for our students to master in each grade level. Expectations that have been deemed most important for students to master within a grade level are called priority expectations. More on those later. Alignment is simply arranging in order to easily make connections between and among standards and grade levels in an effort to avoid learning gaps or overlaps. And realignment is simply rearranging in an order. And finally, the term domain refers to common themes that organize goals under a particular subject area. So for instance, geometry is a domain of math and church history is a domain of religion. Grade level curriculum expectations explained in this video are a reflection of state and national standards through a Catholic lens. For your convenience and knowledge, a link to a spreadsheet called Source Documents that looks like this is included in the same email to principals as the link to this video you are watching. Links to all source documents used during the writing process are included in this spreadsheet. Principals and teachers may refer to these documents whenever necessary. Also included in the same email as this video is the link to a Google spreadsheet called Unified Pre-K 3 through 8 Archdiocesan Curriculum Expectations, where all grade level expectations pre-K 3 through 8 in all content areas are housed. It is not a problem if your school does not use Google or if you do not have a Google email address. Let's take a look at how they are organized first, which will lead into explaining what to do with them during this introductory year. Principals, when clicking the link in your email called Unified Pre-K 3 through 8 Archdiocesan Curriculum Expectations, this should appear in your screen. Notice the name of the file in the top left and the various tabs at the bottom by grade level. When clicking on a grade level tab, you will notice all curricular expectations for that grade level by scrolling down in this order: Religion, Communication Arts, Math, Science, Social Studies, Technology, Art, Music, PE and Health, and World Languages. Each individual grade level and content area set of expectations is organized in the same format, beginning with a list of the domains, followed by the expectations. The next column, called Priority Expectations, has a checkbox next to all grade level expectations that are of the greatest importance for students to master. These priority expectations were determined in a systematic way by rating each expectation's endurance, leverage, and readiness upon answering these questions. Think of the determination of these priority expectations in the way that a teacher might select the most important chapters of a textbook to teach, knowing that it might not be possible for students to master all chapters and skills by the end of the year. Priority expectations are like those chapters that are most important, so be sure to pay extra attention to expectations that are ranked as priority. The next column requires a simple yes or no to answer whether or not the expectation is currently taught in that grade level and content area at your school. It will be necessary for each one of these cells to be marked yes or no, and for teachers to pay close attention to details in the wording to make it easy for teachers and principals to know how much realignment will need to take place by the implementation year of 2021. Let's take a look at an example. As an example, a second grade teacher who teaches math would mark no to the expectation, find combinations of coins that equal a given amount up to $5 if she has required students to find combinations up to $3 in the past. Remember, the devil is in the details. In her case, we recommend she mark no for the answer, asking whether or not the expectation is taught in that grade level, and then write a clarifying statement next to the expectation such as, only have gone up to $3. It will be very important during this introductory year for principals and teachers to have regular conversations in their PLCs around this question. Perhaps in our example, the second grade teacher realized during a conversation in her PLC on this expectation that the first grade teacher had been requiring students to find combinations of coins up to $5 and that they had been capable of doing that. Of course, this realization would require the second grade teacher to increase the rigor expected of her students in the future. This is just a tiny example of how teachers would use the document and of the power in having regular conversations around these expectations throughout the year. The last column is for resource and budget planning. Teachers should document in this column any additional resources they will need for expectations that have not been taught previously in that grade level and content area. Let's look at an example. This is an example of fourth grade science. If the fourth grade science expectation, use a model to describe that animals receive different types of information through their senses, process the information in their brain, and respond to the information in different ways, has not been part of a school's fourth grade curriculum in the past, the teacher might document the following resources he would like to use for students to master this concept and skill starting next year. Now that we have taken a deep dive into the organization of the Unified Expectations spreadsheet and process, let's look at suggestions to get you started. This Google spreadsheet is a view-only document. There are two suggested options for saving the document to your computer. For schools who use Google Drive, click File in the top left and select Make a Copy to add it to your drive. It is recommended to have only one copy of the spreadsheet, share it with all faculty members, and have everyone type their answers in the same document. Teachers, be sure you are typing in the correct grade level when entering information. You can rename the document and house it wherever you like. For schools who do not use Google Drive, you have two options. Click File and select Download As to download the spreadsheet as an Excel to print paper copies. Or print paper copies directly from this Google spreadsheet by selecting the cells you wish to print and clicking the printer icon. Doing it this way will require you to print the content in each grade level tab separately. Teachers should have this spreadsheet next to their normal planning documents during the entire school year to compare and contrast what is currently taught to the new expectations in preparation for the 2021 implementation year. The following slides have additional general notes regarding the expectations and process for your knowledge. These are baseline expectations. There is no problem if schools teach beyond these expectations. Just a word of caution to always consider your students' individual needs when making program decisions and planning curriculum. We assume teachers are differentiating instruction in their classroom. This means meeting students at their level. Some students may need more and some students may need less. Notes on the following two slides are specific to individual content areas. Social studies expectations are not by grade level in middle school yet, and we do not have priority expectations outlined, but the committee is moving in that direction. Currently, they are organized into geography, world history, and American history. World language expectations are organized by novice level and not by grade level due to the large variation of when, meaning what grade levels, and how often, meaning how many minutes per week, schools with a world languages curriculum require their students to receive world language instruction. Middle school 6th through 8th grade technology expectations are the same. The expectations should be met by students by the time they graduate 8th grade. There are no priority expectations for religion. Everything is a priority in religion. Some expectations, especially in science and social studies, have footnotes in the cells alerting teachers that the expectation should be taught through the lens of Catholicism. In addition to answering the questions outlined in the spreadsheet throughout this introductory year, schools are encouraged to plan discussions around the depth of knowledge or cognitive levels of skills and content required of their students, as well as curriculum mapping to determine the sequence of what is taught and when in each grade level. Additional training in the form of webinars will be sent to support schools throughout this introductory year during next year's implementation year and into the future. And should you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to contact me. On behalf of the Office of Catholic Education and Formation, thank you for your dedication to Catholic education, to the Archdiocese of St. Louis, and for saying yes to being Jesus to the children of our Archdiocese. May God's blessings be upon you as you begin this new school year.